Alright, let's see if I can do this before my water boils here. Make a dinner. Anyway, so boom, turn it on, you get the splash screen. Twisted puppy. Get it. Pick up winder. Up. Anyway, from here we go to the start screen. So, clockwise, counterclockwise. We can set RPMs, twisting the little knob on top. We can set the number of windings, twisting the little knob on top. We can just start without loading a job. If we start without loading a job, then it's going to use this RPM that we set here. If we want to actually load a job, then we can do that, or we can, define the job settings here. And so that takes us to the job page. So we can do 4 different layers on the pickup. Each one is a certain percentage of the total number of windings. Specify the speed that we do each layer at, which will affect, of course, the tension on that layer. Then there's a pattern that we use on that layer, how fast we're sweeping back and forth, and how much jitter is in that pattern. So I've got various sweeps as well as a programmed scatter where it's going to calculate all the possible positions and one by one fill them all in basically, and then go to the next layer and fill in all those positions with the computer maximized scatter. So anyway, so once again here we can load or save these job settings here. Now when we're done, we go back to the start page, and so now we're ready. We press start job, which takes us to the work page. So as it's winding along, we'll see the progress here. It'll show us the current RPM. It'll show us if we load our job, it's going through the 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, the stages I'm calling them. It'll display the current stage number that we're at here, as well as the time remaining based on the RPMs and all that, number of windings to go. So here it will display the actual final number of windings, as well as the current count. Start turns to pause. Once we start, of course, stop is self-explanatory. If we're already stopped, stop takes us back to the main screen. Reset zeroes out the count. Calibrate button. Calibrate button takes us to this configuration page. Now some of this is kind of one time, but it just made sense to put it all on one screen. Anyway, we've got the number of steps per revolution of the stepper motor. So like the motor I'm using, that'll be 200 steps per revolution. That won't change from one job to another. But the servo values might vary just a little bit. So we've got a left servo limit we can set, center, and right, because we're not using the whole servo range of motion. So it's going to be a tiny little range of its motion that you're defining from the left to the center and the right. So this nails all that down, sets our maximum RPM, which will really depend on our voltage and our stepper motor. And but most critically here, probably useful, is the wire diameter. So it'll use that in calculating how many windings will fit across a given layer in the bobbin. That value will come into effect as the algorithm is calculating the sweeps and whatnot. So then we save this, and we're back to the job screen here. So typically you would come in here, you would do a quick calibrate, verify everything, then you would start running your job. And maybe I should get rid of it, I don't know. While it's running, you can still increment or decrement the total number of windings on the fly. And also while it's winding, if you want to reach up and turn the encoder knob on top of the box, that'll change the speed on the fly, slow it down or speed it up. So that's about all we got. So this is the first level where the bullshit filter here hand waving stops, and it starts getting real, trying to nail down all this stuff. So this is take 2 on this video. First one I started explaining it and I found shit that didn't make sense. So anyway, I think I got this nailed down here now. So now it's actually almost finally ready for time to start writing my 1,000 lines of code, which will make this all work. So that's another 2 days of work coming, and print everything up, and by the time that's all printed, I should have the program ready to test out, and then it's time to get some supplies. If not, order some supplies now. Have something to do with this thing once it get finished. Anyway, that's it for tonight. It's your status update from Outpost Marco here.